Hey everybody, this is Jenny Jo Allen with jennyclairvoyant.com, and I'm coming live to you right now because there is a lot of empath overwhelm going on. Am I right? Oh my gosh, you know, it's really draining the energy out of me, and I know many others of you are having that same experience, both women and men. I know that all of us who are super sensitive to those kinds of, you know, feeling the ethers or the emotional, it's like taking the temperature of the emotional um, energy of really kind of the world right now, but especially also in our country. Our country is having so much emotional energy. It was already really high with all the election stuff, and now with the economic instability and the viral mayhem that's happening. Oh my gosh, my daughter's school was just closed down, and I'm not in Seattle, but we're close enough that it's really happening. My son's school down in Portland was just closed down, so it's it's a big deal. We're all being a lot more careful and staying home, and part of that is, whenever there's enough time to be quiet, you can start to really get that sense of total overwhelm. And it comes to me in the form of just feeling totally drained, like I have zero energy. And that really kind of stinks, right? So really what I'm coming to you to talk about is just you're not alone. If you're feeling completely drained, no energy, don't want to do anything, need to go out in nature to recharge, need to take a bath, need to do lots of sort of self-care kind of things. I was just like, I need to bake cookies because that's exactly where I go every time I'm feeling stressed out is I go straight for sugar. I'm off sugar right now, so it was going to be alternate peanut butter cookies with no flour and alternate sugars that don't spike my blood sugar. So that was my kind of go-to. But before I did that, I started like really kind of backing it up. And so, this is another thing when you start to feel some of your old habitual stress management or stress mitigation habits start to flare up, and you start going like, okay, where's my drink? Where's my coffee? Where's my, whatever it is for you? Where's my sugar? Where's my junk food? Whatever, where's my Netflix? All those things that are kind of habitual ways that we manage stress and overwhelm, especially for empaths. Oh my gosh, we get really spiraled into that stuff. That should be your mental trigger to go, oh, wow, maybe I'm feeling something a little bit bigger here that I need to pay attention to. And so that's really what this live broadcast is about, to really help you get through these, sort of habitual or addictive patterns that you get into as an empath for how to deal with all the overwhelm, the emotional overwhelm. And so there's recognizing it, and then recognizing your pattern, and then recognizing what's actually causing your pattern to resurface. And so when you start to actually be quiet and feel, oh yeah, okay, right, there's a huge amount going on in our country right now. There's a huge amount going on in my community right now, and even in my family. Like, you can break it down and see all the different parts, and how the overwhelm and the overwhelm and the overwhelm and all the emotions that we're so open to. And then what we can do once we recognize that, then we can do something about it, because you don't know what you don't know, right? So then we can do something about it. So let's do something about it. Let's do a little bit of breathing, because the very first thing that we can do when we start feeling overwhelmed is that we start to get anxiety, and that anxiety builds and builds and builds, and it builds especially in our solar plexus, and that's like right in our stomach, and then our adrenals get locked up, and then our digestion doesn't work properly, and then we start going on this downward spiral. So how we want to protect ourselves as empaths is we can start with the deep breathing. It's not just a deep breathing in, it's actually a slow breathing out. That's actually what we want to do. And the reason we want to do that is that we can actually calm down our parasympathetic nervous system, or our vagus nerve, which is what controls our parasympathetic nervous system. So when you take a deep breath in and then breathe out slowly, it looks like this. Ooh. I really like to kind of let my voice come down an octave as I go, because it signals my mind to kind of come down and calm. And so, when you take that deep breath in and then let it out really slowly, and see how long you can let your breath out. That is a really good way to kind of start to calm down the anxiety that builds, the stress that builds from external forces. Okay, so at least 3 of those. You can do 5, do 10. Oh my gosh, do 10. And you'll see that you really actually do lower your heart rate, you slow down your breathing, and that really just kind of calms your whole nervous system. Okay, so that is overwhelm cure number 1. Overwhelm cure number 2 is going outside. Go outside. Unless you're in the city, that can kind of be stressful. But if you can find some trees, find a park, find some place where you can go outside. That's one of the things that is great about, great about this virus, is that we can go out in nature still, and it's totally safe. As long as you don't touch anything, but you're not going to get the virus from trees. So yeah, you can go outside, be in nature, allow yourself to be bathed in the calm presence of nature, of tree spirits, of the fairy beings that inhabit the woods and the parks and the nature places. Even if you have a flower bed to dig in, or something that you can do outside that feels calming. Okay, like every morning I've been going on walks, because what I've discovered of that, and that leads me to overwhelm protection number 3, which is exercise. So what I've been doing is every morning during this super overwhelming time, I have been going out and actually going for a walk. And then I started getting bored with my walks, and so I started adding a little jogging in there. And it just feels good. It feels really good to do that in the morning. I have to do it in the morning, because if I think that I'm going to do it later in the day, I really don't do it. I get that bogged down, overwhelmed, and I'm just too whooped by the end of the day. So morning is when I just have to do it first thing in the morning. Otherwise, I'm done for. And I really like to do my walking meditations. I do little walking meditations. So while I'm walking, I'll be talking to myself about affirmations. I'll be helping myself to recognize the things that are getting in the way of me achieving the goals that I want to achieve. And I'll whoosh, drop those behind me as I'm walking by. As soon as I turn a corner, we'll dump that right into the ground right there. And then I do a little gratitude. Thank you, Earth, for taking that away from my energy field and my energy system. So that concludes my advice for empath overwhelm in these trying times. Remember to stay super safe. Don't go to public events right now. It's just not worth it. As much as we're all going to have cabin fever very soon, I highly recommend the virtues of staying at home. Okay. Much love to you all. Have a super safe weekend and happy Friday the 13th.